Well, we finally have all the answers to all the questions. Tennessee will be in the playoff. They'll be on the road in Columbus, Ohio. It's the late game, a Saturday night game at 8 o'clock. Tennessee's got their shot. Oh, by the way, Zakai Ziegler's in studio because Tennessee basketball expected to be #1 in the country tomorrow. We'll talk about all that and much more on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law. This is the Players Show, and it starts now. So apparently I said that Zakai Ziegler is here because they're going to be #1. He's here because he decided to show up this week. Mark Packer along with Chris Brown, Jason Swain over here. Okay, so Tennessee in the playoff, the 9 seed. Let's start with Tennessee at Ohio State. Good, bad, we good with it?
100% we're good. We're in the playoff. This is all we wanted. We've been clamoring for this moment to be in the playoff. And at the end of the day, we're there. It's a road game. It's going to be cold. We know it's going to be cold up there, but I'm fired up about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Tennessee's resume, Penn State's resume, Tennessee's slightly better resume.
Or Ohio State's.
But, no, not quite. Penn State played in the conference championship game and played Oregon very, very well. So it worked out. Tennessee has to go on the road. I think it's pretty fair. And you got to do something that you haven't been really great at, and that's winning on the road at night. So Ohio State, just do what Michigan did, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, you look at this right here. Obviously, this was the Big Ten championship game. Oregon, and here's the thing. Oregon finishes undefeated. Had it not been for the 12-team playoff, let's just think about the chaos that we'd be dealing with right now if it was a 4-team playoff.
If it was a 4-team playoff, we'd have a lot more grumbling going on right now. So kudos to the NCAA for doing that. Oregon's been a good team all year. I think they've played very well, obviously very deserving of being the #1 team, but we have to go and take care of business. Can't even worry about that. Can't look forward to it. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, got to beat Ohio State to get to Oregon, and Oregon, only undefeated team, really got the short end of the stick because they have to play the winner of us and Ohio State. When you look at some other setups, it's more favorable for those teams. But Oregon, no reason to complain about it. You got to go out there and play.
That's what it is.
Here's the other part of it, and we've already said it, and there's the college football playoff, some great games, the Friday game, Indiana and Notre Dame. SMU gets in over Alabama. We'll talk about that when we get back on camera. They'll travel to Happy Valley. Clemson gets in thanks to the win over SMU. They'll travel to Texas. By the way, Texas, this sets up beautifully for Texas. I'd almost rather be where they are than having been the 2 seed. And then you look at what's after that. What are the semifinals? Boise State. And there you go. Boise State plays the winner of Penn State, SMU. Texas would get Arizona State. I'm okay with that if I'm Texas.
Yeah, I think Texas is happy with their position. Listen, the 12 teams that are in, all you can do is control your own destiny. And I think that's the biggest thing here. So Arizona State, kudos to them. They played well. Boise State, it is what it is. You want that bye, but you can't control it. If you control your destiny throughout the season, then you don't have to worry about these things. So you're in, you have a shot. I think that's what matters the most.
Yeah, Texas, no top 25 wins, and they get the host. So how about that? And they get a really nice seeding.
I sense some bitterness down there.
No, I mean, it is what it is.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. I mean, I'm happy with where we are. I'm cool with where we are. But the fact is, you look around this bracket, and there's a lot of inconsistencies that they will fix and tweak next year, but it's not great this year for the playoff committee and how they got to some of these decisions.
Listen, for whatever reason, they're holding this Arkansas loss for us against our head like it was the worst thing in the world. I mean, you go on the road, you're supposed to win that game, but you lose by 5 points to a tough team on the road, and they're holding it against us. So things will be tweaked. The system will be tweaked next year, but again, this is year 1 you're in, so you just got to go with it.
I'm good with where we are, honestly. Like, I have no complaints about where we are. I'm not going to sit up here and cry like an Alabama fan or cry like an Ole Miss fan.
You're from Alabama.
Or cry like some of those other fan bases out there. I'm good where we are. I'm glad that Josh Heupel and Danny White, they haven't been doing that either. Go play ball. Let's go do it.
You know, what cracked me up is that Alabama's athletic director saying, we got to re-look at our non-conference schedule. That had nothing to do with anything. You lost 3 SEC games. You lost to Vanderbilt. You got drilled against Oklahoma. You lost to Tennessee. It had nothing to do with who you played non-conference. So just suck it up and say, we lost 3 times.
Honestly, it just makes me laugh. I mean,
y'all did laugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. win the games you're supposed to win and you're in. If you take care of business against Oklahoma, you're in. So the non-conference, you can say what you want. That had nothing to do with anything. So feels good they're out where it.
Let's zero in on Tennessee, Ohio State, because, you know, we'll have Tony Jones slide in here for basketball once we get there. But I'm going to steal a line from him that he always says about basketball, and we'll say it about football. Defense always travels. Defense travels. And you got to feel good with what we saw Michigan do to Ohio State in their last game. They only scored 10 points. To know that Tennessee's defense travels to Columbus.
Well, you got to feel good about your chances against a Ohio State team that got pushed around against Michigan. Michigan runs the football. They barely threw the football. They were able to still win. And they have a really good corner. Tennessee has a really good corner. So Ohio State's quarterback has struggled, and Will Howard delivering the football, making really good decisions, taking care of the ball. So it's a great position for Tennessee to be in. You just have to play well on the road and be able to handle adversity a little bit better than you have in the past.
You know, it's one of those old school games, right, where you play really, really, really good defense and you run the football. That's what we've been really good at. Ohio State's offensive line struggled against good defensive lines, and when you want to talk about defensive lines, you want to talk about ours. You'll put ours up there at the top against anybody. So look forward to our defensive line going up against theirs, and I look forward to Dylan Sampson really running the ball of the disrespect they gave him for not allowing him to be in that Doak Walker list.
Here's the deal. Nico has said all along, from before the season started, he loves road games. He loves playing on the road. Okay, here you go. Okay, here you go. You're on the road. You're the primetime Saturday night game. You're the last of the 4 first-round playoff games. You're at Ohio State. It's a respect game. Winner goes to the Rose Bowl. This is your chance.
I love it. I mean, when your quarterback's saying that and you're on offense and you're on the team, that's all you want to hear.
Yeah, your quarterback can say that all day long, but it has to be the whole entire team that buy in and understand what it takes to win on the road. And that is winning the turnover margin, running the football, playing mistake-free as much as possible.
Not giving up explosive plays.
Yeah, not giving up explosive plays, not allowing one bad play to turn into 3 bad plays or 5 bad plays like we saw against Georgia. So it's great that your quarterback feels that way. He's confident that he has the poise to play on the road. We saw what he did coming back from a concussion versus Georgia. Nico played well enough to win, but the team didn't. So the team has to play better around Nico.
It could be worse weather-wise in Columbus. Game time temperature is going to be around 35, 36 degrees.
That's nothing.
How you get that already?
Dress warm for the sidelines. I'm real high-tech, man. I pulled it up on the phone.
That's nothing. That's perfect football weather.
Great.
Listen,
that's no different than it is here.
Yeah.
Listen, it's fine. We got to take a break.
great.
We'll come back. We'll talk more about this, the playoff. Zakai Ziegler joins us. Caleb Herron joins us in studio. That's when we come back in the Food City Locker Room, presented by Garza Law.
Zakai Ziegler's appearance on The Locker Room is brought to you by Lakewood Capital Group.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, will fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
I was coming home and a lady hit me head on. It totaled my car. It fractured my right heel and it bruised me up really badly. The Garza Law firm, they were very compassionate, but yet they were very detailed. They didn't let me down. They never stopped fighting. It helped me regain confidence in law firms. I would definitely recommend the Garza Law firm.
The Garza Law firm. Let us help.
I was the star around here.
until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, NPG Brain and Concussion, Knoxville Smiles, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
So first round playoff games essentially all in Vegas anyway, or somewhat one-sided. There's not one of the 4 games that's under a touchdown spread. The closest game is Tennessee-Ohio State, which is 7. Do we see close games in the playoffs, or is this just moving on to the next round?
I think that there's a lot of time left before these games. I think a couple games might be blowouts, but obviously I think our game is the night game for a reason, playing against Ohio State in a marquee matchup. And I just look forward to it, man. I mean, when you come here, these are the games that you come here to play. This is what you come here to do. You come here to win on the road and played in a lot of road games. And when you do that and you go and you win on the road, there's no better feeling.
Swain, can I ask you a dumb question?
You can pick it up from last week. Go for it.
I knew that was coming. By the way, I had a friend tell me that was a good question. Some players have hit the portal, by the way, and aren't playing in these playoff games. Okay, so we've talked about Tennessee doesn't really have an identity on offense. Is that almost kind of an advantage that Ohio State doesn't know exactly what to stop?
It's not an advantage at all. No, you want to have an identity, but what Tennessee was able to do last game against Vanderbilt was have those explosive plays and have an identity in that game.
Okay.
And so didn't have to use tempo as much, but you were able to generate explosive plays with Dante Thornton on the outside. Dylan Sampson did what he normally does, and that's go score touchdowns and have 100-yard games.
So here's the thing. You completely shut me down, which is fine. I get it. I'll still pay you. But the fact that Tennessee runs the football so much, to what I just said, you said what Tennessee did is they adjusted and they won with the long ball through the air. So it is kind of you don't know your identity. Vanderbilt said let's shut down the run, and Tennessee beat them through the air. Kind of the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, you don't know your identity, but
I didn't say it right.
Running the football is key, and I think that's where we're going to be. I anticipate a lot of 12 personnel. I anticipate a lot 2 tight end sets. I anticipate just truly trying to grind this game out, and then you get your opportunities to throw those deep passes, and your receivers got to make plays. Dante Thornton made plays. We were running the football. We get our wide splits. So it's truly an opportunity, and you get those safeties to step up a little bit, Swain, and you make that play. And he's catching that ball at 13, 14 yards and making it an explosive play.
Well, I mean, Tennessee had different games this season where you had to find different ways to win. Oklahoma, Josh Heupel wanted to go in there and drop 50, right? That's his old team. But the game called for him to do something else, and he did that. Alabama, you didn't start off fast.
Yeah.
You put up points in the second half and got the win. So, Vanderbilt here, you had explosive plays after being down. Yeah, so you have learned several lessons throughout the course of the season that hopefully helps you against Ohio State, because you don't know how that game is going to start. It may start where you score a bunch of points, or it may be 7-6 at halftime.
So what's interesting is that you guys are kind of saying, and the SEC teams have almost kind of poked fun at the Big Ten teams for playing Big Ten football. And yet the MO, from what I'm hearing you, is Tennessee needs to go to Columbus and play Big Ten football.
Big Ten football, whatever you want to call it, at this point in time, it's winning. And the thing that is won for us is running the football, playing really good defense, and just taking your time. The explosive plays are going to come. If you run the football, safeties will come up. Your receivers have to make plays, and that's we're looking for those just incremental plays, and you found 2 of them in the Vandy game.
Running the football is running the football at the end of the day.
Right.
And that's kind of the foundation of having a successful offense. Tennessee runs the football differently than teams in the Big Ten. We spread you out. We use space. We use tempo.
Okay.
Whereas teams in the Big Ten, they are
high formation, tight end,
it's a lot of dudes in an area.
Yeah.
And so running the football is still the same. But for Tennessee, you still have to have explosive plays. And that's the same in football. It doesn't matter if it's Big Ten or in the SEC. And, hey, man, Penn State did a pretty good job against Oregon, a team that's labeled as quick and fast. They held their own. So I got a lot of respect for how the Big Ten has played this year. We'll see what happens, though. during the playoffs.
It's going to be interesting to see. You've still got the up-tempo thing that Heupel's been known for a little bit. Do you run any of that at all? Do you keep it on the ground? Be interesting to see. Okay, let's transition to basketball. We'll come back to football in a minute. Zakai Ziegler is in. It was a heck of a week this past week. Tennessee was the only one of the top 4 teams that got it done every game. In other words, when the poll comes out on Monday, you should be number 1. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot, but like Coach Barnes, you know, he's keeping us level-headed and making sure that we don't get too ahead of ourselves. And, you know, us having that number 1 on our back is just putting a bigger target on our back. And we understand that. So, like I said before, and y'all was making fun of me, going into every game, we're trying to make it seem like that's the most important game, no matter who it is.
Well, it's easy to make fun of you. Chris?
You know, that's a great point. Obviously, you're going back home this upcoming week, traveling back to New York, playing against Florida State. What's practice been like? What's been like talking to people back home? How many people you going to have there?
Yeah, well, right now I got about like 20 tickets for just some friends and family, and I'm still trying to get some more. But, you know, it's a really big blessing that I get to go back home. You know, playing in Madison Square Garden, that's like, that's as big as it gets, especially for us kids that grew up in New York. So, you know, it means a lot, and it just means a lot to me that I got family like my grandmother coming to the game, some friends that haven't seen me play in a long time since high school. So it's a lot going into the game.
How do you emotionally stay level when you have so many friends and family coming to the game and you want to show out for them? You're probably going to see some people that you grew up around. How does Zakai Ziegler stay level and make sure that he stays within the game?
I mean, just going out there and doing what I do every day. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I came out there to win a basketball game, not just to see some family and friends, not for vacation. So going out there, my mindset is we want to dominate Miami in every aspect of the game, and that's all I'm thinking about, really.
Zakai, I'm asking you, you had so many moving parts around you. So many guys have come and gone. Transfer portal giveth and it taketh away. But the one guy that's kind of been the constant is the leadership of you. In watching you this year, and we've talked about this a little bit on the show before, you are truly a coach out there. Do you feel like that you're kind of the glue that keeps all these new guys together?
I wouldn't say it's just me. I would say it's Jamar too, and I would say Jordan too. But, you know, me and Jamar, we've been here 4 years now, and we know how Coach Barnes runs things. And I feel like out there, we're just the 2 guys that when times get tough, we in the huddle talking. Well, if it's not me, it's him. And we just trying to keep everybody calm and collected and make sure we just staying together. But with the transfer portal and everything, I would say Jamar did a way better job than me. And I'm going to just be honest, because I'm more of a, to myself kind of, I like to talk to some new people, but, you know, Jamar, he's open to have conversations. So whenever I asked him about, like, how the recruits was and stuff, he gave me the full rundown because he could ask them all the questions. But I would say me and him are the 2 glue guys on the team, really.
Well, it looks like you're having fun out there. You should be number 1 in the country as of tomorrow. We'll see you next week, okay?
See you next week, little man.
All right, by the way, as we go to break, if you'd like to support the charity that is Zakai's Assist, you can get your Get Neal and Loud shirts. You can get your Raise the Roof over at Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center shirts. Scan the QR code and show up wearing those shirts. They've got Zakai's Assist on the back of every one of them. When we come back, Caleb Herring off the Tennessee football team joins us in studio, the player's perspective on a trip to Ohio State when we come back.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, D1 Training, Lakewood Capital Group, Ted Russell Ford, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop.
Where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama Zizi approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hey, Sterling, man, come on, we got a roof to replace.
Let's go, baby.
Hey,
Let's go.
Hey, Sterling, you ready to go to the top?
Man, I can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
Knoxville Smiles depend on us to make your smile better. Knoxville Smiles, are you happy with your smile today? Knoxville Smiles, we're all about smiles.
Hey Lance, what makes you smile?
Pancake blocks.
What's up, guys? It's Devin Driscoll, owner of D1 Sports Training. We know in 2024, convenience is king, so we have locations not just in Hardin Valley, but now one in Maryville, in Farragut, and in Morristown, with more soon to come. So keep an eye out. We want to bring D1 Sports Training to everyone in East Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Griffin. I'm a dentist here in Knoxville, Tennessee. In 22, I had a wakeboard tower hit me on the head and give me a concussion. In my office, I show x-rays to my patients so they can see their teeth. I needed somebody to do the same thing for my brain, so I went to MPG. They did an EEG of my brain, and they were able to show me the activity of my brain and give me a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So I choose MPG because brains is what they do, and that's all they do.
Time now for the Food City Player's Perspective. A look inside the locker room with the Vols.
All right, here with Caleb Herring. And Caleb, you and your brother played together last year. He decides to transfer. He's at Memphis, Elijah Herring. How was it like this year without bro?
I say really, the only time it really hit me was like when he first left. I was like, dang. I thought we were going to like finish college together. But it was like after that, you know, I got used to it. Come first game day without him, like it kind of hit me at first. Then I was a little bit iffy, but I got used to that as well. And then I started seeing that he was doing really good, and was just from there, really wasn't stressing about it for real.
You've been doing really well as well. Mm-hmm. Walk us through how it's been playing on this defensive line, on this defense throughout the season.
Man, dominant defense. All of us, really not just the front seven, but everybody around us have been dominant. We still have our little things to work on, but it's really been good. It's been great, and just we're continuing to build on to what we had.
During the recruiting process, was Ohio State one of those teams that reached out to you that you looked at? Tennessee's playing Ohio State here in the first round of college football playoff. A trip to Columbus. Mm-hmm. Was Ohio State one of those teams that reached out to you?
Well, this game is actually going to be pretty personal because I remember when I was talking to Ohio State, they was like, whenever I get on campus, they're going to throw the offer, be all good and stuff. And then when I got to campus, I went through the visit and stuff, talked to the coaches, and they didn't once mention an offer. So I was like, okay, get these pictures over with. Then afterwards, I'm done with them.
I understand. Yeah. I understand 100%. Mm-hmm. Did you guys prepare to play Ohio State? Or did you guys just kind of say, all right, maybe it's Penn State, maybe it's Ohio State? Did you guys have a feeling that you would play Ohio State in the first round?
Well, we really didn't really have anybody in mind. Last week was just like a young guy emphasis, just letting them guys get in, work, since they really didn't get to play much, but it was just a young guy emphasis, seeing what they can do, seeing what they can bring to the table and set their next step.
Did you watch the conference championship games this past weekend?
Oh, yes, I did, yeah. It was a pretty good game.
What did you learn? Did you learn anything from watching other teams play?
I watched the Georgia game. Yeah, people were trying to call it boring, but I looked at it as a good old school type of game. Defense, it was a defensive war, so really wasn't complaining.
Well, defensive guys love games like that, right? Low scoring. What's important, you think, for you guys to be able to win in the first round, go to Ohio State and get a win? Is that something you guys have talked about? If not, personally, what do you think? You've been playing a lot of games this year. You know what it takes to win big games. What do you think you guys have to do to go up there and get the win?
Well, really just taking things day by day when it comes to practice, coming in the same person, energized, just looking at every day as an opportunity, not as a burden. I remember I saw a video on Big O. He said to himself that just don't look at today as a burden. It's just another opportunity. So I would say it's just going into this game. It's a big game because it's our next opponent, and you're just playing our game. So
that's what you got to do. Well, Caleb Herring's going to be a big reason if Tennessee's able to get the win. Defensive line has an opportunity to change the course of this playoffs by getting the win at Ohio State.
You know, Caleb, you talked earlier, from year one to year two, what have you learned really on the field? We talked a little bit off camera about Coach Ayers, but what have you learned on the field about transitioning, about making plays and kind of making yourself better each and every down?
Yeah, shout out to James. The difference from last year to this year, last year, you know, I really emphasized just trying to learn my position. But James, I remember like after this season and stuff, he was like, you know what you're doing. Now it's time for you to learn what others are doing. And since doing that, learning what other people are doing around me, knowing what my support is and stuff, it's really slowed the game down, and it's really helped me whenever it comes to just knowing where to be whenever my name is called. And then I'm trying to think something else. Like the games, yeah, it's really slowed down. Then something else I learned was just patience, like just be patient. Because there have been a couple times where I was frustrated because I wasn't making the plays I wanted to make, but we were talking to my coaches. It was like, the play's going to come. Just keep on doing your job.
Let the play come to you. Caleb, thanks for coming out, man. Good luck, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Tennessee at Ohio State. We'll wrap up the show when we come back.
Hi, I'm Laura Ash, your West Knoxville State Farm agent. I've been here in the Renaissance for 17 years, and I'd love to help your young football players or anyone with their car insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Give me a call at Laura Ash State Farm.
I see Marcos' role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama Zizi approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hi, I'm David Ball, National Sales Manager here at Legend Fitness. Legend Fitness has been built on longevity and quality. Our racks are fully welded and has the least amount of bolts in the industry, made to stand up to the test of time. Because at Legend Fitness, we deliver quality and we want our customers to be Legend strong.
Hey, Tim Hoskins here from Covenant Sports Medicine. I'm the corporate manager of sports medicine, and I want to speak a little bit to our community partners and relationships that we have. We partner with FC Alliance Soccer, LeConte Center at Pigeon Forge, Johnson University, numerous high schools in and around the area, AAU basketball, Morristown Landing, travel hockey, volleyball, lacrosse, you name it, we're probably involved. What a lot of people don't know about Covenant Health is we're a nonprofit, community-based healthcare delivery system. We provide services in your community. If you ever need help with some event medicine or sporting event, scan the QR code at the bottom. Covenant Health, our mission is to improve lives through better health.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank. Life made better.
Keys to Victory is brought to you by Garza Law.
We don't have time for all the keys, but real quickly, what are you trying to get accomplished this week? Chris?
Get healthy. Just get healthy. I think that's very important. Swain?
Yeah, get healthy, watch a ton of film. Watch as much film as you can. Pick up on tendencies.
Don't play pickup basketball. Do nothing stupid like that. Just stay healthy. By the way, Tennessee basketball, did we say probably #1 in the country on Monday? Sure. Good news on Monday. We'll see you next week right here on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law.